Iranians are voting for a new president today. This following Ebrahim Raisi's death in a helicopter crash earlier this year. Choosing from a tightly controlled group of 4 contestants loyal to the supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. Shortly after polling stations opened, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei cast his vote. As ballots are counted manually, the final result is expected to be announced only in a span of 2 days. The question now is, who will be Iran's pick? 80 contestants entered the race to be the president of Iran. The Guardian Council approved 6, barring all 7 of the women contestants, and in the final stretch, 2 of them, both conservatives, have already dropped out of the race. Amir Hossein Hashemi was the first to rescind his candidacy. Hashemi was one of Raisi's vice presidents, and he had campaigned on a continuation of the former president's policies. And as he pulled out, Hashemi urged other contestants, other conservative candidates, to offer a united front. Soon after, Tehran's mayor Alireza Zakani joined Hashemi and boarded the withdrawal wagon. Zakani had attempted to run for president in 2013 and 2017 as well. It was only in 2021 that he received approval from the Guardian Council, and that only to withdraw his candidacy, as he backed out yet again. Zakani also asked the 2 conservative candidates to unite and not leave the revolutionary forces' rightful demands unanswered. Emerging as the most significant of them is Mohammad Baqir Qalibaf. He has served as Speaker of Parliament since 2020, and he also has an extensive military history, including 3 years as commander of the Islamic Revolutionary Guards Corps and also the Air Force. The 3 other contestants have all been IRGC officials as well, but Qalibaf maintains close ties to the IRGC. He is known for his role in crackdowns on student demonstrators in Iran while serving as an IRGC general and later as the police chief. Well, the second key contestant is another conservative, Saeed Jalili. Though he served as the country's nuclear negotiator, Jalili is a critic of international negotiations over Iran's nuclear program. If elected, Jalili is expected to continue the harsh crackdown on anti-government demonstrators and also on Iranian women accused of violating the country's compulsory hijab rules. Mustafa Poro Mohammadi is the only cleric in the race, also a conservative. Pora Mohammadi had a leading role in the 1988 executions of thousands of political prisoners held in Iranian jails. Let's now take a look at the sole reformist in the race, Masoud Pezeshkian. He has based his campaign around Iranian women, youths and ethnic minorities. Now, in this, he has also focused on reopening nuclear talks with the West. Experts say allowing Pezeshkian to run could be an attempt to increase voter turnout. The question is, will Iran's moderates turn out in favor of Pezeshkian, or will they not turn out at all? And for more on this, our correspondent Anas Malik, who is in Tehran covering the elections, is joining us live. Thank you so much for being on the show with us here today, Anas. Now, the polls have opened in Tehran just a short while ago. It is a 3-way contest in Iran's presidential polls. A fight between 2 conservatives, that is Qalibaf and Jalili, versus Pezeshkian, who is a reformist. Well, a lot will depend on the voter turnout, which Iran's supreme leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei has also been emphasizing upon. Talk to us as to what is the mood like on the ground and what are you picking?
Reisha, I'm inside a polling station. WION is inside a polling station here in the north of Tehran. And you're asking to me about the voter turnout. I will just get aside and allow Murtaza, our local producer, to just show and pan as to how many people are here at this very polling station itself. They're here in numbers, and they're here with the sole intent to have the fate of the country changed. That's what they want. That's what they say. This is a line, and we're just like we're what, two hours into polls. It's a day off. It's a Friday, but despite of that, the line going down 2 floors, I mean, that really tells you a lot on the enthusiasm. There is a lot of young voter bank that are here, young people who are here to vote. As the last time when we spoke, that is just when the polling had began, and at that point of time as well, we had seen a lot of a couple of young couples out there to vote. This you see on my left, this is a young person who's here to vote. He's casting his vote right now. He's filling his ballot paper rather, and then once he's done filling his ballot paper onwards, he will go on to the ballot box to cast his vote. So this goes on to show that how significant, important is this election and what it means to the voter of Iran, to the people of Iran, and especially to the younger generation, because they have been disappointed. That's what they say in our conversations with them, but they look forward to a better tomorrow. And this here, the line behind me where I'm standing, is a clear reflection of how the voter turnout might just turn out to be. The Supreme Leader has already voted, and you rightly mentioned in the start that there's sort of a split mandate in-house in the conservative side. So clearly, the advantage then goes to the reformist, unified reformist candidate, that is Masoud Pezeshkian. Rahisha?
Right, Anas. Clearly, the divide within the conservatives that has sharpened the elections in Iran today. You've clearly showed us and the viewers about the voters that have lined up, and you're joining us live from inside the polling station in Iran. Talk to us as to what are some of the issues that dominates the polls. What is the youth of Iran voting for today?
Well, the youth is voting for change. The issues that dominate are economic prosperity, rising inflation levels, the fact that the younger lot are more concerned about their future in the sense of having stable jobs or some economic or job security, because there are good institutions where they're passing out from, but they do not have a future in sight or a foreseeable future in sight, and especially in the context of those sanctions that Iran faces. So the vote today, or the issues that dominate, is of course economy, rising inflation levels, and good neighborhood, good relationships, good diplomacy. That is what is dominating this election. Those snap polls are unexpected, and you have to keep in mind this is the second time that the people of Iran are voting in a year's time. In fact, in some months. On the 1st of March was the parliamentary elections, and after the parliamentary elections today on the 28th of June, they're here again, lined up in greater numbers. I'll ask Masood Murtaza to show once again. You see, they're lined up here in greater numbers to vote, to exercise their right to vote, and this is a clear reflection and manifestation on what the people of Iran want and how important is this vote for them. Rahisha?
Right, Anas. While the polls have opened, it is also important to mention here that Iran's leadership is conducting a strategic debate over whether time has come to start making nuclear weapons. Talk to us more on that, and how will it be viewed by the West as it just comes on the same day as Iranians vote for change in Iran?
Well, just hours before Iran went to polls, the US did put three companies on sanctions list on the charges of allegedly providing support to Iran's nuclear program. Now, that while this might come as a shock, but the timing of it is what makes it questionable, the move questionable. Again, it depends on whosoever comes into power. If you've got a far right, a conservative government, then we might just be seeing these statements being converted into something more practical. But if you have a more reformist government, as what it has been talked about, or their sloganeering has been, then we might just see that Iran shelving up the idea on at least on a policy level, on a government policy level, and moving ahead with opening up in case if there is an olive branch that is offered to them. So it would be interesting to see as to whosoever gets into power, because the impact of it would be on Iran's nuclear program going forward, because, as I said, conservative means that this policy can be opted for, and a reformist government means that they would be more inclined towards opening and lifting the sanctions, including parroting or towing the line in case whatever the Western countries would want them to do. Raisha?
Right, Anas. Of course, we'll be tracking the polls and the consequences of that very closely with you here on WION. But thanks very much for joining us on the show.